Hang on for a second. Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. And I'm so delighted to have you back here. And I'm so delighted to have with me today an amazing speaker. I mean, when I say amazing, it's really not the words that I would be describing him because his name is Dieter and he likes to call himself a modern elder. But in reality, he is a personal counselor for living a meaningful life that you love. And just before we get into Dieter and Dieter telling us more about himself, just to remind you, my name is Hayat and I'm a rapid transformational therapist. And I would love for you to just subscribe and yeah, follow and like this video as well. So Dieter, how did you manage to get up today? And maybe you could tell us a bit about your background on how you got into this journey,
Okay.
knowing
Uh,
that you're an owl, a night owl. So that's why I asked
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah. No, I used to live in Spain for 17 years, and there everything is much later. I'm still used to it, but a little bit about myself. Some 40 years ago, by coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences, I met Viktor Frankl, the author of the book Man's Search for Meaning, and I was doing what you would call nowadays a coach for personal development. And I had the challenge that my clients were saying, Peter, we like what you're doing. Can you go a little bit deeper? And then I met Viktor Frankl, as I was saying, and he took me under his wings and he told me, why don't you help your clients to find an answer to the basic question, why are you really, really, really here on this planet? Besides to make money, besides to make a career and to get recognition and maybe raise children, why are you really, 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 like the Spice Girls? And this was the decision, the point of time when I was saying, okay, this is what I want to do. So ever since, I'm not doing anything else but helping people to find the purpose in life, the meaningful purpose in life, and how to live it.
And I want to say that you're doing an amazing job on the Internation platform because so many people really write back to me personally as a counselor there and they say, oh my God, can we have more of Dieter? Can we have this? He's so amazing. How can we get a hold of him? So I just want to say you're changing so many lives.
Very
And,
kind of you.
that in itself is good karma if you believe in karma.
But it's also easy there, to tell you frankly, because people coming there, they're very open-minded. They're really making use of this difficult times we have now, this 18 months of the virus situation, not just sitting back and complaining and playing victim, but saying, okay, it's an opportunity. So it's easy. But thank you for the feedback. To the other part of your question, getting up for me in the morning, that's always a little bit of a challenge. So I'm usually doing two things. One is very simply to have a cup of tea, like
Why
now,
not?
because for me it's still early.
The English, we say a nice brew.
A nice brew, exactly, yeah. And the other thing is a little bit more into the direction of my usual work in regard to meaningful purpose. What I'm always recommending is to do a little exercise, ideally both in the morning and also in the evening. And this exercise consists of 3 steps. And ideally, you do it in writing, by the way, in a journal.
You're going to actually tell us the exercise, right? For those people who are listening today and really feeling a bit low, or maybe not knowing what to do, and just feeling the blues for any reason, this will help them momentarily. And then, of course, I understand that this is not a long term; this is just a short term. But they really need to look into what's the real cause in all of that. Yeah.
It's actually it's both, because even if people are then, for instance, saying, I would like to define my purpose and to live it, I still recommend to keep on going with this exercise. So it's both short term as well as long term, and it's actually quite simple. So it's consisting of 3 steps, or 3 areas, I should say. The first area is to answer the question, which is 3 things which I have been experiencing today or the day before, and I'm happy about. This is the usual grateful exercise. But 3 things, and not just the classical things like a sunset or the smile of a baby. I would also recommend to write down there things which we usually take for granted. Like, for instance, that we are healthy, that we have a roof over our head, that we have hot water, that we have our limbs. All these things we take for granted, and we usually only become aware once we don't have them. So the first step is 3 things I'm grateful for, which has happened if you do this in the morning, the day before, or if you do it in the evening during the day.
I don't mean to cut you. Hang on, before you get on to the second one. But I listened to Joe Dispenza, and he actually says that gratitude is really a signature emotion. So it's an amazing
Absolutely.
thing that we start with
Absolutely.
gratitude. So thank you for
Absolutely.
mentioning that. Yes,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
sorry, carry
No,
on.
no worries. No, perfectly fine. And I even would suggest to go a little bit further, a little bit deeper. And this is, for instance, the second step, which is to write down two small things, I should say, I'm proud about. So two things I was doing either the day before, if you do it in the morning, or this day when you do it in the evening, two things I'm proud about. Because usually we only see the things which did not work out, or as I always call, we see the holes in the cheese and we don't see the cheese. So to take the time to say, okay, nothing big, but two things where I say, yes, well done, and pat on my shoulder, so to speak. And then the third step is one thing which I would be doing differently if I'm in the same situation again. Let me give you an example. Let's assume I've been in conversation with someone, discussed about a topic, and I got a little bit impatient. I might write down here, if I have a conversation again with this person or with another person about the same topic, I will try to be less impatient. I will try to be more patient. So these are 6 points, 3 from the first category, 2 from the second, 1 from the third. 5, the first 5 already are positive, and the 6th one is on the way to become positive. And I can't prove it scientifically. I only can tell you from my own experience that doing this, especially in the morning, but ideally also in the evening, really gives me a whole lot of energy and different mindset, and makes it much easier to deal with whatever is happening to me in the outside world. Because this is the challenge, that the things happen in the outside world and our inner balance, our inner harmony, they're usually not fitting together. So to develop inner calm, inner strength, inner balance, to be better prepared to deal with the things in the outside world. And the way there is to see the positive things, what has happened, what can I be grateful for, to see the cheese and not only the holes in the cheese.
That's amazing. I mean, the reason why I'm saying that's amazing, because a lot of people, so you go to sleep, you're already kind of like everything would have been erased or whatever, and then you wake up, and then the first thing you remember would be, I had an argument, or this was hurting me, and you bring it all over again. So what you're saying is really not to do that, but just as soon as you wake up, just focus. What is it that really, that not the kind of like the simple things, but something that's really deep and meaningful that really touches you and you want to be grateful for. And secondly, focus on positivity. So
Absolutely.
that is really, really amazing. And I have to say, you didn't really tell me much about you, where you living now and what you're doing. I mean, not that I want to know the whole history, but yeah, please go ahead.
No, just let me add one more thing to this exercise, because there's another aspect I would like to add, which is, if you do it in writing, and then let's say once a week or at least once a month to go through your notes. And this, I do it usually Sunday morning. And this is an incredible feeling, for me at least, if I look back the week and I see all these positive things. This makes, again, the whole weekend is completely different. So not just to do it every day, but also to do it on a regular basis, like on the weekend or at least once a month, to go through it. And you can use a paper version, you can use an electronic version, whatever. The point is to write it down and to have a look every then and when. And this is giving us the positive energy to be better prepared to deal with whatever is happening to us in the outside world. So this is just something
really
I wanted to add there.
No, speaking of gratitude, I'm grateful that you actually took the time to wake up early for me this morning and actually come and do this video with me. So that in itself, this is something kind of like not usual, but yet I need to be grateful for because it's happening. But so where you living now, and not that, as I said, maybe a little bit more about yourself, because you didn't really tell us in the beginning. You just told us about Dr. Franklin, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm like frankly Austrian. I'm 66 years of age, father of 3 and grandfather of 5.
And I have to say, you don't look it.
One of the problems by doing something as early as we are doing it is before I have to do a lot of makeup and Photoshop. So that's why it's a lot of preparation. No, anyway, I'm back to Austria since about 10 years. I used to live in Spain for 17 years, as I was mentioning. My kids are Spanish, my grandchildren are Spanish, but I'm back to Austria and I'm slowing down a little bit, but still what really keeps me awake and gets me out of bed every morning is to be able to hopefully support other people a little bit in finding an answer to the question, why am I really here on this planet? in non-material terms, and how can I live it? So close to Vienna, not directly in Vienna, a little bit outside, 60 kilometers. I'm from Vienna myself originally, but I don't like the big cities. I like to be in nature. So I have the ideal combination here, close to Vienna if I need to go, and still surrounded by nature.
Wow, it sounds amazing where you are. I know nature is beautiful, and yeah. Um, so I'm really, really, again, I know this might be cliche, but I am grateful that you actually here and doing this video with me. And just want to let everyone know, if you need to get hold of Dieter, I will leave his details as well in the comments. And also, he is an amazing inspiration. And I can tell you, I have learned a lot from him when I do the events with him as well. So thank you so much, Dieter. And any
My
last words
pleasure.
before
Thank
we say
you.
goodbye?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please remember to subscribe. Please remember to like as well and share with your friends. Thank you so much. Bye.
In German. That's in German.
So actually, after stopping the recording and I got chatting with Dieter, he shared with me something amazing, which I thought, no, this needs to be in the recording as well. So well, here we are, still carrying on. Please, what was that that you just showed me? I know it's in German, but you
but
were
I'll
saying it in
translate
English to me.
I have this paper in front of me here, which is basically saying, I do what I really enjoy doing. And then in bracket, it's saying 80%. I've learned over years, decades, I have to admit, to come to the point to say, I go with the flow as much as possible. I can't do it 100%, but I do it 80%, meaning I really do what I want to do. And if it means that something doesn't get done today, but only tomorrow, next week, so what the heck? And because you were asking me what I'm going to do afterwards now, I'm going now to take a walk afterwards and do some shopping at the same time. And in the afternoon, I will have 2 or 3 client sessions, but I'll take it easy. I'll really try to be in the now and to go with the flow. And this,
Yes.
in order not to forget it, because very often it's out of sight, out of mind. I have this little piece of paper here in front of me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, yes, the power of now is, I mean, Ishrak Tolle made the book about it, and everyone when meditation talk about ground yourself in the here and now.
Doing it, that's the challenge.
Yes, yes. You know, breathing in, going, centering yourself, grounding yourself, that's so important. And for you, that piece of paper helps you to be in the here and now and grounds you. And it's really, really amazing. And yes, as you mentioned, really the best way to live life is to be a hollow reed, just to allow things to just, you know, flow through you. Because, you know, you can't control anything, to be no matter how much you think you do or you can. No.
And for everyone who wants to know a little bit more about this, I would recommend the Stoic philosophy in terms of distinguishing between what I can influence and what not, which is usually 20-80, and how to deal with it.
Wonderful. I think, you know, I got so much out of this little video. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe. And I will also put, you have a YouTube channel as well. I'll put the link here for you, right?
Excellent.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.